What happened to those great food traditions everyone used to love? Join us as we explore 20 once popular American food customs that brought people together, offering a glimpse into a time when life was slower and meals were more than just about food. Let's dive in. TV dinners. In 1954, Swanson revolutionized mealtime with the introduction of TV dinners. These pre-packaged meals, neatly divided into trays, allowed families to enjoy dinner while watching their favorite shows. By the late 1950s, TV dinners had become a cultural icon, symbolizing the convenience of modern life. The aluminum trays with their perfectly separated portions were a hit, especially with busy households. This innovation quickly became a go-to solution for those looking to save time in the kitchen. Soda fountains. Soda fountains were the heart of social life in mid-20th century America. Found in drugstores, they were places where people gathered to drink milkshakes, sodas, and ice cream. The soda jerk, expertly mixing drinks behind the counter, became a familiar figure. These lively spots were popular in the 1940s and 50s, but gradually declined when fast food chains took over, offering quicker service and overshadowing the charm of soda fountains. Milkman deliveries. Milkman deliveries were a common sight in the 1950s, with fresh milk brought to doorsteps in iconic glass bottles. This service thrived in an era where home refrigeration was limited, making daily deliveries essential. The milkman was more than just a delivery person, he was a trusted figure in the community. However, as supermarkets and better refrigeration became the norm, milkman deliveries faded away, marking the end of this nostalgic tradition. Tupperware parties. Tupperware parties took off in the 1950s, offering a mix of socializing and shopping. Women gathered in homes to see demonstrations of Tupperware's durability and functionality, while enjoying a fun and casual atmosphere. These parties were more than just sales events, they were a social phenomenon that empowered women and made Tupperware a household name. By the 1970s, they were at their peak, blending business with pleasure in a unique way. Victory gardens. During World War II, victory gardens became a symbol of patriotic duty. Citizens were encouraged to grow their own vegetables and herbs to support the war effort, with millions of gardens sprouting up across the country. These gardens produced nearly 40% of the fresh vegetables consumed in the United States at the time. After the war, as commercial agriculture rebounded, the need for victory gardens diminished, but they remain a powerful reminder of self-reliance and community spirit. Salad bars. Salad bars gained popularity in the 1970s as health-conscious dining became trendy. First introduced at R.J. Grunt's in Chicago in 1971, these self-serve stations allowed diners to customize salads with fresh ingredients. Salad bars peaked in the late 1970s and 80s, becoming a staple in restaurants of all types. However, their popularity has waned due to food safety concerns and the cost of maintaining fresh produce. Instant coffee. Instant coffee became widely popular after World War II, offering a quick and easy alternative to traditional brewing. By the 1950s and 60s, it was a household staple, perfectly suited to the fast-paced lifestyles of the time. Its peak came in the 1970s, but as artisanal culture grew, instant coffee saw a decline in favor of a more flavorful brewing method. Ice cream socials. Ice cream socials were once the highlight of community gatherings, especially during the early to mid-20th century. Popular in the 1950s, these events brought neighborhoods together with homemade ice cream, games, and music. Though still remembered fondly, ice cream socials have become less common as entertainment options have diversified and store-bought ice cream became more accessible. Baking contests. Baking contests flourished in mid-20th century America, especially at county fairs and community events. The Pillsbury Bake Off, launched in 1949, became the gold standard of these competitions. With categories like pies and cakes, these contests celebrated home baking during a time when it was a central part of American life. However, as home baking declined, so did the prevalence of these contests. Automat restaurants. Automat restaurants, with their coin-operated food dispensers, were a novelty in the early 20th century, reaching their height in the 1950s. Patrons loved the blend of convenience and freshly prepared meals. Automats featured futuristic dining experiences, making them a cultural icon. However, with the rise of fast food chains, these unique restaurants eventually faded from the scene. Fondue parties. Fondue parties were a hit in the 1960s and 70s, where friends gathered around a pot of melted cheese or chocolate to dip bread, fruits, and vegetables. This interactive dining experience, originating in Switzerland, was loved for its cozy, communal vibe. The fondue pot kept everything warm, making it a fun and social way to enjoy a meal together. Drive-in theaters with snack bars. Drive-in theaters in the 1950s and 60s became an American staple, offering movies under the stars with the convenience of staying in your car. Snack bars served up popcorn, sodas, and treats, making the experience even more enjoyable. Though their popularity has waned, drive-ins remain a nostalgic treat for simpler times. Supper clubs. Supper clubs were the go-to destination for a night of fine dining and entertainment from the 30s to the 60s. These elegant venues offered gourmet meals, live music, and dancing, all in one place. Known for their exclusive atmosphere, they provided a complete and glamorous night out. As entertainment options evolved, supper clubs slowly faded from the scene. Pig pickins. Pig pickins, or pig roasts, are a beloved Southern tradition where a whole hog is cooked and served at large gatherings. Rooted in colonial times, these events became popular in the late 20th century, combining food and festivity. Clam bakes. Clam bakes, a northeast coastal tradition, involved steaming seafood, potatoes, and corn over seaweed on the beach. Popular in the mid-20th century, these gatherings offered a unique, flavorful experience right by the ocean. But due to rising costs and environmental concerns, clam bakes have become less frequent in modern times. Jell-O molds. From the 1950s to 1970s, Jell-O molds were the go-to dessert, known for their vibrant colors and creative shapes, combining flavored gelatin with fruits and veggies. These wobbly treats became a fixture at family dinners and parties. Casserole dinners. Casserole dinners were the heart of American comfort food from the 1950s through the 1980s. These easy one-dish meals like tuna noodle or green bean casserole were perfect for feeding a crowd and making them a staple at family meals and picnics. Cocktail parties. In the 1950s and 60s, cocktail parties became the height of social elegance. With stylish attire, well-stocked bars, and chic settings, these gatherings were a must for socialization and networking. Potluck suppers. Potluck suppers, popular in the 50s and 60s, brought communities together over a shared meal. Each guest contributed a homemade dish, creating a diverse and plentiful feast. Microwave cooking. The microwave oven, a kitchen game changer, became a household essential in the 1970s and 80s. It made cooking fast and easy, perfect for reheating leftovers or preparing meals in minutes. As we've seen, these nostalgic food traditions brought people together in fun, creative, and delicious ways. While some have faded, the memories and flavors they create still linger. If you've enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment with your favorite food tradition. Stay tuned, and we'll see you on the next video.